Stop what you are doing. Put everything else down. Close the other tabs. Silence the noise around you. Because what is happening right now, in this exact moment, is not an accident. You did not stumble onto this video. You were sent here. The scroll stopped here. The algorithm did not bring you to this message. I brought you to this message. I am the Lord your God, and I have been waiting for this moment with you. There is a door standing open before you right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not after you get yourself together or after things calm down at home or after the bank account looks different. Right now. And I sent my Archangel Michael, the warrior of heaven, the commander of my armies, to stand at that door and to hold it open for you, specifically for you. Because what is on the other side of that door belongs to you, and it has belonged to you for longer than you realize. But I need you to hear me. I need you to lean in close and let these words go past your ears and down into the deepest place in your chest. Because this is not a motivational video. This is not a feel-good message to get you through the week. This is a word from heaven for your life, released today, sealed with urgency. Because the season you are standing in is the most critical season you have ever walked through. Can I ask you something? Have you felt it? That sense that something is about to shift, but you cannot quite explain it? That heaviness in your spirit that is not quite despair, but feels like waiting, like standing at the edge of something enormous and not being able to see across. Have you been carrying something that other people cannot see? A burden that follows you to bed and meets you in the morning? A worry about money, about your family, about your health, about whether the life you were promised is ever actually going to arrive? Have you prayed and wondered if I was listening? I have been listening to every single word, and here is what the angels around you know right now that you do not yet know in your body. The answer has already been prepared. The breakthrough you have been believing for is not on its way. It is already there, fully formed, fully ready, standing on the other side of the door that Archangel Michael is holding open right this moment. The only question, the only thing left, is whether you are going to walk through it. Every force of darkness that has been working against your life, your finances, your marriage, your health, your children's future, every one of those forces knows what is on the other side of this door. And that is why they have been fighting so hard to make you feel like it was never going to come. They have been whispering in the silence. They have been manufacturing delays. They have been making you question whether you still believe, whether I still see you, whether the promises I made over your life still stand. They still stand. They will always stand. And today, through this message, I am pulling back the curtain of heaven and showing you exactly what has been happening in the Spirit, exactly why the breakthrough felt delayed, exactly who has been assigned to protect you through the battle, and exactly what steps through the door look like for your life. Do not move from where you are. Stay with me through every chapter of this message, because each word that follows is a stone laid on the path that leads you from where you are standing right now to where I have always intended for you to be. Type in the comments, I received this message. I am ready for my breakthrough. And before we go any further, if this channel has ever brought a word into your life that gave you strength when you had none left, that gave you hope when the circumstances said there was none, take 5 seconds right now and click that like button and make sure you are subscribed to this channel so that not one word I send through this ministry ever passes you by. The enemy would love nothing more than for you to miss what I am about to release over the next several minutes. Do not let him win that small thing now. Let us go into the deep. My dear son, my dear daughter, before you ever knew his name, before you ever heard a message like this one, before you ever understood what spiritual warfare was, before you learned to pray against the darkness, before you had the language for any of what you have experienced in your life, I had already assigned him. Archangel Michael has been at your side longer than you know. I want you to understand something about the nature of my assignments. When I send a warrior, when I release one of the commanders of heaven's armies to stand with a human being, it is not casual, it is not automatic. I do not assign Michael the way a manager assigns a task. I assign Michael the way a general deploys his most elite force into the field that matters most. And you, your life, your family, your bloodline, what I have written over your destiny, matters enough to me that I have not left you unguarded for a single day of your life. Think back with me for a moment. I want you to think back to the time things should have been worse than they were. The accident that did not happen the way it could have. The diagnosis that came back different than the doctors expected. The situation at work that should have ended your career but somehow resolved. The relationship that was heading toward total destruction but pulled back from the edge at the last moment. The season of financial disaster where somehow just enough kept showing up. Not abundance, not overflow, but just enough to keep you in the fight. You called those things lucky. You called them coincidence. Some of you called them blessings and moved on without fully understanding the mechanism behind them. But I want to tell you what was actually happening in those moments. In those moments, Archangel Michael was standing between what the enemy had planned and what I had purposed. The forces of darkness had a different outcome written for those chapters of your life. They had destruction planned. They had devastation prepared. And every single time, the warrior I assigned to your life stood in the gap and enforced the covenant I made over you. He has been doing this since before you were born. I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. I consecrated you before you took your first breath. And in the same moment I knew you, I saw everything the enemy would attempt to throw against you. I saw every scheme, I saw every attack, I saw every season of doubt, every moment of financial pressure, every health crisis, every broken relationship. Every night you cried out wondering if I was real and whether any of this was worth it. I saw all of it before any of it happened, and I prepared a response to every single attack before the attack was ever launched. Archangel Michael is not a reactionary force. He does not scramble when the enemy moves. He is positioned, he is stationed, he has been in his post, surrounding you, reinforcing the boundaries of your life, since the moment I decreed your existence. But here is what I need you to receive in this moment, because this is the part that changes how you pray, changes how you face the morning, changes how you walk into every room. You have been fighting as though you were alone, and you have never been alone, not for 1 second. I see the way you carry the weight of your family. I see how you wake up at 3 in the morning with your mind racing through the bills, through the fears, through the conversations that went wrong, through the relationships that feel like they are fraying. I see you hold your face together in public when the inside of you feels like it is falling apart. I see you pray with everything you have and then lie there in the silence, wondering if anything moved. Something always moves when you pray. You just cannot always see the battlefield from where you are standing. Archangel Michael has fought battles over your life that would overwhelm your natural mind if I showed you the full picture. He has turned back assignments that were aimed directly at your children. He has neutralized attacks that were aimed at your health. He has disrupted plans the enemy made against your finances, your mind, your marriage, your sense of purpose. And he is standing here right now, at this door in this moment, not because the battle is over, but because the battle has reached its decisive turning point. My dear son, my dear daughter, place your hand over your heart right now and declare out loud, I am not alone. Heaven's warrior stands with me. Every attack against my life is already defeated. Say it like you mean it. Say it to the ceiling. Say it to the walls of whatever room you are sitting in, because faith is not silent, and the breakthrough that is waiting for you on the other side of this door requires you to activate your voice. The warrior has been with you all along, and what he has been protecting you for, what all the guarding and all the fighting has been building toward, is exactly what this message is about to reveal. My dear daughter, I know you have asked this question. I know you have sat in the quiet of your car, or at the kitchen table after everyone else went to sleep, or in the back pew of the church when the music stopped and the silence felt too big. And you have asked, why is it taking so long? You have been faithful. You have tithed. You have served. You have prayed without ceasing, sometimes literally. Sometimes through tears so thick that words would not come, and all you could offer me was the groan of a heart that had not stopped believing even when believing hurt. You have read the promises in my word, and you have held them up in the dark and said, I trust you, even when every visible thing in your life was saying, give up. So why has the breakthrough taken so long? I am going to tell you something that the enemy does not want you to know, because understanding this truth is what dismantles his most effective weapon against your faith. The delay was never punishment. The delay was preparation. Here is how the kingdom of darkness works against a life that I have marked for significant impact and significant blessing. The enemy cannot stop what I have decreed. He does not have that authority. The moment I spoke your destiny into existence, it became irrevocable. He cannot erase it. He cannot override it. He cannot negotiate with me for your destruction, because the covenant I made through the blood of my Son, sealed by the power of my Spirit, places you in a category that is beyond his reach at the level of destiny. So, what does he do? He works on timing. He works on perception. He cannot stop the breakthrough from coming, so he works ferociously to make you stop believing it will come before it arrives. He knows something you did not know. The window of maximum impact for your breakthrough is a specific moment in time. And if he can exhaust you, discourage you, make you bitter, make you quit, or make you settle for something lesser before that moment arrives, he wins a partial victory. Not over your eternity, not over your soul, but over the fullness of what I intended your life to produce. This is why the waiting has felt so targeted. Because it was targeted. The attacks on your finances were not random. Someone who has provision coming does not get attacked in their finances by accident. The warfare in your mind, the voices that told you you were too old, too broken, too far behind, too much of a mess for the promises to still apply to you, that warfare was not generic spiritual pressure. It was a specific assignment designed to land specifically on the area where your breakthrough is about to manifest. In the military, when forces prepare for an offensive, the first thing they target is the exact location where the breakthrough is going to happen. They bomb the road before the army can use it. They sow confusion in the specific territory they know they are about to lose. The enemy has been doing this in your life. The areas that have been under the most sustained pressure, the area of your finances, your health, your family relationships, your sense of self-worth, those are the precise areas where my provision is about to overflow. The attack itself was the sign. I want you to think about a seed planted in the ground. The moment before that seed breaks open into its first shoot of life, it looks from the outside like nothing is happening. The dirt is still. There is no visible movement. A person who does not understand the process of growth might look at that ground and say, nothing is growing here. I planted in the wrong place. The seed is dead. But underground, beneath the surface, in the dark, in the hidden place, everything is happening. The shell of the seed has been broken. The root is reaching down before the shoot reaches up. There is enormous activity that the eye cannot see. This is where you have been, underground, in the process, in the preparation that happens before manifestation. Say out loud right now, my delay was not denial. My seed is already breaking open. What God promised me is coming up through the ground right now. And this is what Archangel Michael has been protecting in the season of delay. Not just your physical life, not just your family, but the seed of your breakthrough while it was going through its underground season, while it was vulnerable, while it was forming. He stood guard over the process because the enemy would have destroyed the seed before it could take root if the warrior had not been positioned. But the season underground is finishing. The shoot is about to break the surface, and what was hidden is about to become undeniable. Type in the comments, "My delay was preparation. My breakthrough season is now my dear son." I want you to understand the full scope of what you are walking into, because you cannot properly receive what I am about to release over your life if you do not understand what has been resisting it. The enemy knew this day was coming, not approximately, not generally. He knew the way a soldier knows when enemy forces are positioning for a major advance, that this specific window in your life was the moment designated for your breakthrough. He has known it for longer than you have, and everything he has thrown at you in the past months, in some of your cases in the past years, has been his frantic, furious attempt to derail you before you reach this moment. Look at your life over the past season and tell me if this sounds familiar. Things that had been stable suddenly became unstable. Financial pressure that arrived without a clear cause. Relationships that began to develop friction for reasons that seemed disproportionate to the circumstances. Health issues that appeared out of nowhere. A creeping sense of heaviness that is not quite depression, but feels like a thick cloud sitting over everything, making the colors of your life a little duller, making your prayers feel like they are hitting the ceiling, making the promises feel distant and abstract instead of immediate and real. Does that sound familiar? That was not life randomly being difficult. That was a coordinated campaign against a specific target. You and the destiny I wrote over your life. The enemy is not creative. He is strategic, but he is not creative. He uses the same tools against every person who is approaching a breakthrough moment: discouragement, distraction, financial pressure to create anxiety, relational conflict to create isolation, and then the quiet whisper, louder than any shout, that says, maybe this was never real. Maybe I was never really chosen. Maybe the promises were for other people. He used those tools against your father and mother. He used them against your grandparents. He has used them against every generation in your bloodline that carried any of the anointing that flows through you. And in most generations, he was partially successful. Not successful at stopping what I planned. He has never fully stopped what I planned, but successful at reducing it, at containing it, at making the blessing smaller than it was supposed to be, at confining the anointing to a private experience rather than allowing it to become a public demonstration of my power. But I am doing something new in your generation. There is a breaking of a cycle happening over your family. I'm not just releasing a blessing to you, I'm breaking a chain that has limited your bloodline for generations. The poverty that chased your parents does not get to chase your children. The sickness that moved through your family tree gets cut off at your generation. The broken relationships, the cycles of addiction, the pattern of people in your family getting close to the promise, and then something going wrong at the last moment, that pattern is being dismantled, root and branch, beginning with you in this season as you sit here receiving this word. And the enemy knows it, which is why the attacks in this past season have felt different, more intense, more personal, more targeted. He is not attacking you because you are weak. He is attacking you because what is about to emerge from your life is a direct threat to every chain he has used against your bloodline. But here is what he does not fully account for. He does not account for the warrior assigned to your life. He does not account for the fact that Archangel Michael does not tire, does not get discouraged, does not have moments of doubt or weakness. He does not account for the fact that I have been watching every move the enemy has made against you, cataloging every scheme, and I have already prepared the counter to every attack before the attack was ever launched. The forces of darkness that have gathered around the door of your breakthrough, they see Michael standing there and they know what the opening of this door means. And they are not celebrating. They are retreating even now, even as you receive this word, because the word of the living God, released through faith into the atmosphere of your life, carries authority that no force of darkness can withstand. Place both hands on your head right now and declare, every chain over my bloodline is broken. Every generational curse ends with me. What God promised my family is being released through my life beginning today. The enemy's campaign against you is not working. It has bought him time, but it has not changed the outcome. The door is still open. The breakthrough is still on the other side. The warrior is still standing guard. And you are still here, still believing, still fighting, still pressing toward the promise, which means the enemy's greatest weapon, which was discouragement unto quitting, has already failed. You are still here. That is not a small thing. That is your greatest act of warfare in this season. Type in the comments, I am still standing. The enemy's plan has failed, my dear daughter. What I open, no one can shut. I spoke those words, and I meant them without condition, without expiration, without the fine print that human beings put on their promises. When I open a door over a life, it does not close because the economy shifted. It does not close because the diagnosis came back hard. It does not close because the relationship ended, or the job was lost, or the plan that you had built your hope on fell apart. The door I open over your life is opened by my authority, kept open by my power, and the only force in all of creation that could close it would have to be stronger than me. There is no such force. I want you to look at that door right now with the eyes of your spirit, because what I'm about to describe to you is not metaphor. It is not poetic language designed to make you feel good for 15 minutes before you go back to your ordinary day. It is the actual spiritual reality of what is standing before you in this moment. The door is enormous. It is not a door sized for a single blessing. It is not a door through which just one good thing passes. This is a door that heaven built specifically for the fullness of what I prepared for your life. The financial provision, yes, but also the restoration of relationships, the healing of your body, the clarity of purpose you have been asking me for, the peace in your household, the future of your children and grandchildren, the ministry and the impact and the legacy that I always intended your life to produce. All of it is on the other side of this door. All of it has been waiting, and Archangel Michael is standing at that door with his sword drawn, because the forces of darkness that had positioned themselves to push it closed. The moment your foot crossed the threshold have now been driven back. They are not at the door anymore. Michael enforced the perimeter. The path to the door is clear. What does it mean in your practical daily American life for this door to be open? It means the phone call that changes your financial situation is in the preparation. It means the medical report that contradicts the previous one is being written. It means the relationship that felt dead is being resurrected right now in ways you cannot yet see. It means the opportunity that seems to come out of nowhere, the promotion, the connection, the contract, the idea, the clarity about what you are supposed to do with your life is walking through the door right now and heading toward your address. It means the child you have been praying for is under divine protection. The marriage you have been believing for is being reformed at its foundation. The business idea that would not let you sleep, that kept coming back to you no matter how many times you told yourself it was not practical, was not you trying to be ambitious. It was my voice in your spirit, because that idea came from me. And it is time. The timing of my provision is not arbitrary. I do not release breakthrough randomly. There is a convergence happening in your life right now. A convergence of your faithfulness, your spiritual readiness, the strategic moment in the heavenly calendar, and the completion of the preparation season. And that convergence is what has caused this door to open at this specific time. You are not reading this message because you accidentally stumbled onto it at a random moment. The moment was appointed. You were directed here by the same Spirit that has been directing you since before you drew your first breath. And the word you are receiving right now is being planted in your spirit, a seed that is going to produce a harvest that will take your breath away. Say out loud right now, the door is open. No force can close it. I am walking through in faith right now, and I receive everything God has prepared for me on the other side. If this word is touching you, if you can feel in your spirit that this message was sent for you today, take a moment right now to click that like button. And if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, do it right now. Every message released through this ministry is a word that heaven has prepared for a specific moment. And I want you to receive every single one. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so that not one word passes you by. Type in the comments, the door is open and I am walking through. No weapon formed against me shall prosper, my dear son. I saw the moment you almost let go. I want to talk about that moment, not to revisit the pain of it, but because understanding what happened in that moment from heaven's perspective is going to change the way you see everything that comes next. There was a specific thing. Maybe it was the dream you had carried since you were young. That sense of calling, that direction you believed your life was supposed to go, that version of yourself that you saw in your most honest prayers. And the years passed, and the obstacles mounted, and the dream started to feel embarrassing. It started to feel naive. The people around you, even people who loved you, started giving you looks that said, let it go, be realistic, life is not what you thought it was going to be. And one night or one afternoon or one slow, quiet morning, you made a decision in your heart. Not a dramatic decision, not a declaration. Just a quiet releasing, a silent putting down of the thing you had been holding. Maybe it was the marriage, maybe it was the career. Maybe it was the belief that your body could be healed. Maybe it was the hope that your prodigal son or daughter would come home. Maybe it was the financial breakthrough. You stopped putting it in your prayers because it felt wrong to keep asking when nothing was changing. Felt like a lack of faith to keep hoping when the bank account kept telling the same story. I was in the room when you let go, and what I want you to know, what I need you to hear at the level of your bones, is that my promise did not let go when you did. The covenant I made over your life is not dependent on your ability to hold on with a perfect grip. The promise I spoke does not expire because you had a moment of human limitation. The blueprint I drew for your future does not get torn up because you went through a season where you could not see it clearly enough to believe in it with full confidence. My word is established in heaven, and it does not move because your faith wobbled. But here is what I want you to understand about the specific things you almost gave up on, the specific dreams, the specific people, the specific areas of your life where you felt hope die down to an ember. Those are the exact areas I am targeting for restoration. Not because you earned it by holding on perfectly, not as a reward for your faithfulness, though your faithfulness does matter, but because the enemy targeted those specific areas because he knew what I had placed there, and I am a God who restores what the enemy has stolen. I'm a God who rebuilds what the locusts have eaten. I'm a God who takes the exact thing that was used to defeat you and turns it into the demonstration of my power. The marriage that felt like it was over, I am rebuilding it from the foundation up, and what it becomes will be stronger than what you originally imagined. The career that seemed to have a ceiling, I am removing the ceiling and replacing it with an open heaven. The child who walked away from faith and from family, I am working in their heart right now in ways they cannot yet name, and the prodigal is turning toward home. The health that was taken, I am the Lord who heals, and the healing that flows through the open door is heading toward the exact condition, the exact diagnosis, the exact physical limitation that has been used against your quality of life. The financial situation that has felt like a permanent ceiling. I want to speak directly into it right now. I see the accounts. I see the debt. I see the anxiety that wakes you up at night, calculating what is owed and what is coming in, and whether it adds up. I see you at the checkout line doing the mental math. I see you avoiding certain conversations because the financial shame has become part of how you see yourself. I know every number. I know every bill. I know the exact amount of the need, and I know the exact amount of the provision I have prepared. It is more than enough. It is so far past enough that when it arrives, you will not have a category for it in your current experience of life. You will have to build new mental infrastructure to hold what I am releasing, because everything you have ever experienced about your finances up until this moment has not prepared you for what overflow actually looks like. Place your hand over your heart and declare, everything the enemy stole from me is being restored. What I almost gave up on is what God is restoring first. I receive my full restoration now. Spirit, soul, body, family, and finances. Say it again, louder. Because the declaration of faith does not stay inside your chest. It goes into the atmosphere of your life, and it displaces the atmosphere of limitation that has been sitting there too long. Every door that was closed in front of you, every opportunity that fell through at the last moment, every plan that got interrupted, I'm not asking you to pretend those things did not hurt. They hurt. I know they hurt. I'm not a God who dismisses your pain with a wave of my hand, but I'm a God who takes every loss, every closed door, every demolished plan, and I reconfigure the pieces into something that serves my purpose for your life better than your original plan ever could have. The best version of your life, the version I wrote before the foundation of the world, is still intact. It is not a diminished version. It is not a consolation prize version. It is the full, original, unedited version of the life I spoke over you, and it is coming through the door that Michael is holding open right now. Type in the comments, I receive my full restoration. Everything the enemy stole comes back now. My dear daughter, there is a sound in heaven right now. It is the sound of a sword being drawn. Not drawn in desperation, not drawn in reaction to something the enemy has done, drawn in authority, drawn in the certainty of a warrior who has fought this battle before and has never, not once, lost. Archangel Michael is drawing his sword over your life. And I want you to understand what that means in the spiritual realm, because the impact of what he is doing right now extends far beyond what your natural mind can process. When Michael draws his sword, it is a declaration in the heavenlies that a specific assignment of darkness over a specific life is finished. It is not weakened. It is not pushed back temporarily. It is finished. The authority that carries in the spiritual realm is the authority that flows directly from my throne, delegated through the covenant I sealed with my own blood, and no force in the kingdom of darkness, no principality, no power, no ruler of darkness, no spirit of wickedness in the high places can stand against it. I need you to see this clearly. I need you to see the forces that have been assigned against your life. The spirit of lack that has been whispering over your finances, the spirit of fear that has been manufacturing anxiety in your mind at 3 in the morning, the spirit of infirmity that has been attacking your body, the spirit of strife that has been creating friction in your home, the spirit of confusion that has been keeping your purpose blurry. I need you to see all of those forces gathered on one side of a battlefield. And then I need you to see Michael. He is not running. He is not frantic. He is standing at full height in the authority of heaven's command, and the light that radiates from him is the light of my presence, because where my warrior goes, I go with him. The sword he carries is not a symbol. It is a weapon forged in eternity, carrying the word that I spoke over your destiny before the foundation of the earth. and every demonic force that looks at that sword sees exactly what is written on it. This one belongs to the Most High. This one is off limits. This one is under covenant. This one walks through, and the forces scatter, not reluctantly, not gradually. They scatter the way darkness scatters when a light is turned on in a room, instantly, completely, without negotiation. Because darkness has no negotiating power against light. Fear has no negotiating power against perfect love. Lack has no negotiating power against the provision of the God who owns every resource in every dimension of existence. The warfare that has been over your life, the sustained campaign that has targeted your peace, your provision, your family, your sense of calling, I am declaring over you right now that it ends today. Not at the end of the month, not when the circumstances change. Today, in this moment. As you receive this word and let it go past your ears and down into the root system of your faith. The reason I am able to declare this with such finality is not because your situation is suddenly going to look different in the next 5 minutes. The declaration precedes the manifestation. This is how the kingdom of heaven operates. I declare a thing, and then it comes to pass. And when I declare through my word, released through faith, received by a heart that chooses to believe. That declaration carries the same creative power that said, "Let there be light," and light appeared. Let there be restoration over your life. Let there be healing over your body. Let there be provision over your household. Let there be peace in your home. Let there be clarity over your calling. Let there be joy in your spirit that the circumstances around you cannot touch. Let it be in this moment, over your life, now. But I want to also address something personal, because Michael's sword does not only fight external warfare, it cuts the chains that have been holding you from the inside as well. The chain of guilt, the weight of the past, the things you did or did not do, the ways you failed yourself and the people you love. Michael's sword cuts that chain today. My forgiveness is not a concept. It is a force, and the force of my forgiveness, fully received, breaks every internal chain that the enemy has been using to keep you in a posture of unworthiness before my throne. You are worthy, not because of what you have done, because of what my Son did, and the covering of his blood over your life is the reason Michael fights for you with such ferocity. Because I look at you, and I see someone covered by the greatest sacrifice in the history of eternity, and I will defend that covering with the full force of heaven. Stand up where you are right now. Put your shoulders back, lift your head up, and declare out loud, I am free. Every chain is cut. Every assignment of darkness over my life ends today. I am covered by the blood and guarded by the warrior, and my breakthrough is mine. Say it standing up. Because you are not the person the enemy described. You are not the failure, the broken one, the one who missed it, the one who is too far gone. You are the one I chose. You are the one I sent Michael to fight for. You are the one standing at an open door with the warrior standing guard and the fullness of heaven's provision waiting on the other side. Type in the comments, the warfare over my life ends today. I am free by the power of God.